Yo, what is going on, everyone in the XRP community? Hope you guys are having yourselves a fantastic day today as usual. Make sure before you do anything, smash that like button down below. It is free and it helps me out a ton and pushes this video further into the YouTube algorithm. Today, guys, cryptocurrency market up about 5, 6, 7% on the day. Last few videos, as you may know, we've been talking about the burst curve on the 1 hourly chart with both Bitcoin and XRP. And for once, your boy Cobb's TA was actually right. Pocketed a quick $200 today on some leverage trading. Not bad, but that burst curve did play out. Didn't explode massively, but did definitely break some resistance and tackle some liquidity for a quick grab. Let's go ahead and get into this, guys. The SEC has a track record of really overextending their reach and pushing the edge of their jurisdiction, doing some questionable things, just like in the Ripple versus SEC case. The SEC started contacting overseas Ripple partners, which have no business with the United States or the SEC. They got caught red-handed in court and got a little slap on the wrist for it, as expected with government agencies and politicians. Always that nice little slap on the wrist. They don't get any real penalty. Guys, the SEC has suffered a major defeat from the DC courts. Let's get into it, guys. This is a freaking good one. Stay tuned till the end. And again, if you haven't already, smash the likes. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I know the video just got started, but I don't know. Let me know what you think. All right. Appeals court deals major blow to the SEC. DC court limits agency's reach in a decision with major crypto implications. Now, this doesn't have to do directly with crypto, but it definitely is relevant for crypto, okay? Crypto may have won a major court battle yesterday, and the decision didn't even involve crypto. In a ruling released Tuesday, a 3-judge panel at the United States Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia Circuit found that, as the Wall Street Journal put it, quote, the SEC has exceeded its authority under federal law when it issued a 2020 order overhauling the governance of data feeds. Okay. Now, breaking state law, okay, that's one thing. But when you're breaking federal law, that's when it starts to get pretty serious. Okay. This was a technical ruling on a case that has nothing to do with crypto. Basically, the SEC had sided with brokers that have maintained forever that exchanges like the New York Stock Exchange and NASDAQ wield monopolies and use that power to jack up their fees for the real-time pricing data that brokers offer traders and customers. So the SEC issued a rule in 2020 that required the exchanges to rearrange their governance and offer seats to institutional investors and brokerages that cater to individual investors. Judge Karen LaCraft Henderson, I think I pronounced that exactly correct, honestly, has ruled that the provision is unreasonable and therefore invalid, dealing a fatal blow to the rule even while leaving lesser elements of the SEC's order in place. Sounds like to me it got mostly overturned. I wonder, now, this is like dream scenario here. Could the DC courts completely overrule the SEC in the Ripple versus SEC lawsuit? I don't know. Again, not a legal guy. This is not legal advice, and I am not a person to give legal advice or any legal opinion. But since the DC courts have essentially, I'm saying overturned, but they're saying dealing a fatal blow to the rule even while leaving lesser elements of the SEC's order in place. So it sounds like they pretty much kind of reversed the ruling in a way. If that same thing could happen with Ripple and XRP in the lawsuit, that would be quite amazing. All right. Why this is relevant for crypto. In 2 decisions in recent weeks, the Supreme Court in West Virginia versus EPA and now the DC Circuit Court of Appeals has sent a clear message. Regulatory agencies only have the power that Congress expressly grants them. See, they love to act in their own little manner and just kind of do what they please with a little regulation by enforcement. Hey, instead of, talking with Ripple and trying to negotiate with something with them before starting a lawsuit and trying to work some things out and, really kind of guide them in the right direction, no, they go ahead and they come with the freaking fists out and they want to, do regulation by enforcement. All right? That's kind of, an analogy probably going to do a bad one, but it's kind of like, look, every time you have a problem with a person, like let's say, you're out drinking one night or with family or with some, some in-laws that you don't like when you have a problem with a person in real life, right? Like, what do you do every time? Regulation by enforcement? Like every time you have a problem, are you bringing out your fists and starting to fight? No. You can be reasonable. You can negotiate, right? You can, de-escalate the situation. But what the SEC does is they don't want to regulate and help guide people. They just want to enforce, which is big and scary. And they're looking for a little $20, $30 million payoff. That's what they're looking for, right? These agencies cannot seek to stretch their power expansively, even when they believe they are advancing a larger public interest. Regulatory agencies are created by statute, and their power extends only as far as those statutes allow. In fact, you can throw two other recent Supreme Court decisions into that same mix. The court struck down the CDC's eviction moratorium during the pandemic and also prevented OSHA from enacting its ambitious workplace vaccine rules. Okay, that makes four decisions in which higher courts have ruled that agencies cannot simply invent powers not specifically enumerated by Congress. I love that. I absolutely love that. That they can't just invent powers. They can't just come up with okay, yeah, we can do this now. Oh, yeah, actually, you know what, Ripple, yeah, let's go ahead and, destroy $20 billion in market cap and affect holders all around the world. I love this right here, man. This is brilliant. Honestly, props to whoever wrote this article. I mean, modern consensus, I know, but the specific person who did. The agencies cannot simply invent powers not specifically enumerated by Congress. All right, let's keep going here. I'm loving this. All right, the implications for crypto are obvious. The SEC has awarded itself the ability to decide which cryptos are currencies and which are securities. It has thus far declined to issue any kind of consistent, non-arbitrary criteria that developers or ordinary Americans, if we can remember those people the SEC is supposed to serve for just a minute, can use to determine the roadmap for crypto going forward. Now, this is something very, very all of the sudden, but I'm looking up on my phone right now because it's just popped into my head. The freaking... Dude, the light just went off my head right now. It was the CFTC Twitter SEC, man. I remember it was, yes, Brian Quintez. I don't know what it was. But I remember he came out with an absolute fire tweet coming against the SEC. I'm trying to find it for you guys now. Let's go Twitter here. You can skip forward like 30 seconds if you don't want to wait. So we got Brian Quintez. This guy came out with some major statement about the SEC. Guys, I cannot find it right now, but please do link it in the comments below. Send it to me on Twitter. I know that there was a tweet from the CFTC commissioner. CFTC is similar to the SEC, but deals more with commodities. But they're basically, two sides of the same coin in a way. And I remember the SEC getting blasted by the CFTC commissioner, Brian Quintez. I don't know what the heck, how you pronounce that last name. I'm just going to say Quintez. That seems like the most logical thing for me to say, but I remember he made a groundbreaking statement on Twitter. He got like 5,000-6,000 likes. Dude only has like 11K followers on Twitter, and to get 5,000-6,000 likes, I remember it was a banger about the SEC overreaching and potentially not even being in the right jurisdiction. Okay, cannot simply invent powers. All right. The crypto crash has many in the mainstream media wringing their hands and begging for more and stricter regulation. But those actually in the trenches are more likely to view SEC Chairman Gary Gensler, this guy right here, and his fumbling predecessor Jay Clayton as having caused the uncertainty that crashed crypto, XRP, and is chasing developers away from the U.S. Okay? What I don't understand is how the hell does a SEC chairman on his last goddamn day at like 2, 3 p.m. just blast a lawsuit against Ripple right before leaving office? Like, it was a clear paid off arrangement. Like he could have, done it like maybe a couple of months before he left office, make it seem a little bit suspicious, but the last day of him as the chairman of the SEC, he goes ahead and launches a lawsuit against Ripple. I don't know how the hell this is not like, causing some sort of disruption in the legal system of, hey, well, wait a second there. How much money did you receive? Can we get a little audit of your bank accounts, offshore Swiss bank accounts that he probably has, dude? Like, come on. Last day in office, he sues Ripple. Nothing gets more suspicious than that, okay? According to a lawyer who works with a prominent crypto developer, I have not read it in detail yet, but this decision from the D.C. Circuit and the EPA decision from the Supreme Court last week both signaled that agencies only have the power that is expressly granted to them by the statutes at issue, and they cannot seek to expand that power in the name of some expansive regulatory or public policy mission. Freaking beautiful article, guys. The lawyer declined to be identified by name for the fear of antagonizing an agency and the habit of warring powers to itself. Oh, yeah, of course, dude. You messing with the big boys. Smart to stay anonymous. But he went on to make the point even more sharply. Last part here, guys. Quoting from the decision, the lawyer told Modern Consensus, in this week's decision in NASDAQ versus SEC, the D.C. Circuit of Appeals stopped the SEC dead in its tracks when it attempted to create new rules for the way stock exchanges manage themselves because the SEC failed to anchor its interpretation of its authority to any reasonable reading of the securities laws. None of this bodes well for the SEC's expansive regulatory by enforcement approach to crypto. With a high-profile lawsuit pending between Ripple and the SEC, all crypto enthusiasts are eagerly awaiting a clarifying outcome. The Ripple Army, who's watching this video right now, of course, among other fans of tokens not yet given the seal of approval, Gensler has afforded Bitcoin, certainly is taking notice of the way the courts are consistently limiting the reach of executive authority. All right, we're going to throw on the tinfoil hat here for a second. Remember how we just had a video on the channel about the SEC saying that they are trying to, bring down all the testimonies, expert discovery, blah, 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 like all down to 100 pages because they wanted to conserve SEC resources? I mean, they said, the courts and SEC's resources. Nah, dude, they're just talking about themselves. Very interesting how this comes out at a very similar time of the document that came out published by James K. Fillon on Twitter, our other XRP community lawyer alongside John Deaton, that the SEC wanted to conserve its resources. Or I don't think they used the word conserve, but that's basically what they said. They're saying they wanted to, make good use of their resources. Basically something sounding like they're freaking running out of lawyers or funds or time or something. Okay, very, very odd timing there. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in the video today. Make sure to smash the like, subscribe, leave a comment down below, hit those post notifications for daily videos. I'll see you guys in the next one. Stay hodling.